Today I'm going to be sharing with you this self-care planner from Simple Self Co. This planner is undated and it is their weekly planner. I do have their daily planner right here with me that I purchased a couple of years back that I can also show you what the daily pages look like after I show you what the weekly pages in here look like. And I'm pretty certain that the pages in the beginning of both of these planners are exactly the same. But this planner is weekly, undated. It is 52 weeks. And if you don't know who Simple Self is, they are a small woman-owned business that was founded in 2019. And it says here, through thoughtful design and a focus on mindfulness, we hope to motivate all women to work towards their dreams while making time for the moments that are just for them. So this first page in the planner is just a nameplate page with spot for you to list out your contact information. And then you have a note from Marilyn, the founder. I love how it says, the most important relationship we have is the one with ourselves, and we often skip over it entirely. Self-care doesn't have to be extravagant or even cost money. It's simply a way to support yourself, listen to your body, tend to your needs, and create necessary boundaries. It's fueling your body and soul with fresh energy to embrace new challenges. It's the activities that give you the TLC you deserve, and yes, you deserve it. Activities that make you feel taken care of, grounded, and centered, like a hot shower, a walk in the park, a deep conversation with a good friend, or the tired and true mani-pedi. And just by looking at this, I can tell already that this is pretty much exactly how the daily planner started, because I remember that quote. So in this planner, you've got the self-care plan pages in the beginning. Then every month you have a monthly spread, a monthly reflection, monthly intentions. And every week you have a 4-page weekly spread. It looks like you have a spot for jotting down gratitude every day. At the end, you have an end assessment, you have some monthly self-care challenges, a year at a glance, and a track your health page. So this is a breakdown of what the self-care plan involves. It includes a self-care assessment, build a self-care map, set recurring self-care acts, create your vision of balance, set your goals, and design your ideal routine. Again, I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same self-care plan that's listed in their daily planner. So this assessment is broken down into 4 different categories: physical, social, emotional, and spiritual. And then it asks you questions under each one, and you're to rate them on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being rarely, 2 sometimes, 3 often, and 4 does not apply to me. And this is a spot dedicated for you to list out all the things that you are already doing that are helping towards like your self-care. So under each category, it's broken down: physical, emotional, social, and spiritual. So here you could list out the exercises and maybe like the vitamins that you're taking. Under here, it's got things that you're doing for your emotional well-being. So if you're doing a gratitude practice every day before bed, you could list that here. If you're doing reflections any sort of way, then you could list that here as what you're doing. Under social, you can list out what you're doing. And it says something that you're doing at least once a month. And then it even has a spot here for listing out what prevents you from doing more self-care. So on this page, you are to build a self-care map. And it basically wants you to list out the self-care acts that your favorite ones that you can do under each of these categories of like relaxation, health, connection, rejuvenation, comfort, and expression. So for example, that way when you return to this page, you can easily see, like if you're in need of, let's say you need some comfort, you can look that you've already listed out those things that you know, those self-care acts that you know that you can do that bring you comfort. Behind that, you actually have a cheat sheet that they've prepared for you to kind of help you jog your thoughts on things that you could do under each of those categories. And on this page, you are to write down the self-care acts that you hope to do on a recurring basis, like getting an annual physical, weekly meal prep, or maybe a daily skincare regimen. It says, keep in mind that your self-care will differ from day to day based on your mood and needs. However, it's helpful to have a few goals set in place so that it can motivate you to stay focused on your well-being. So a spot for once a year, something that you'll do every month. This is what you'll do every week and every day. You can list out the things. On this page, it wants you to create your vision of balance. So when I filled this out, I actually used a whole bunch of like transparent sticky notes and put them on each of these circles and wrote on that. That way I could change it as I needed it, especially if I jumped in and out of the planner, but because it's undated. But it says here to take a moment to think about what's important to you in each of these areas, which are work and school, spirituality and growth, mental health, fun and recreation, physical health, physical environment, friends and family, romance, giving and contribution, and finances. And then it wants you to include your dreams for the future, anything that you hope to avoid, ways you want to feel, people you hope to attract, and anything else that you feel will create your vision of a healthy, balanced lifestyle. And this is where you have a space for setting goals. It wants you to list out things that you want to achieve within the year. And it wants you to keep in mind your vision of balance that you just did on the other page. It says that the same categories below are reflected on the monthly intentions page so that you can break down these large goals into smaller goals before each month begins. So this planner, the self-care planner, is basically also like got a goals system built into it. So this is where you would list out what your annual goals are. And when you get to the monthly intentions page, you'll see these. Again, I remember the boxes. It says here to think about what it will take to achieve each goal and weigh the pros and cons. What is worth your time, money, and energy? Set your goals with the intention that you will put your personal well-being first so that you are able to put your best foot forward in all areas of your life. On these two pages, you have space for designing your ideal routine. Now, this is basically supposed to be for your standard day, and then this is supposed to be like an alternative day. It gave an example, like this could be a work day, and this could be when you have a day off. And of course, it lets you know that it's okay if you do not follow these routines all the time. That's okay to have days where you don't follow routines at all. Then you have a space right here that's a year at a glance, which would be, I think, perfect for pre-planning. You can list out, especially because it's got like a shorter line and then a longer line. So on the shorter line, you could write the day, like the number. So if there's something happening on like the 4th, for example, you can write the 4th and then you can write what that is. You can put all that up here at the front on one page so you can kind of see an overview. So this is that monthly intentions page that it was referring to when we were on that goals page about all the different categories for goals. So they've got a box for well-being, work, relationships, recreation, finances, and spirituality. And then you jump into the month page. And I do believe all the months are going to be at the front. Since this is an undated product, all of the 12 months are going to be at the front, and then all of the 52 weeks are going to just flow together towards the back. So you've got a spot to list out what the month is, and these calendars are a Sunday start. It has boxes over here for positive self-talk, treat yourself, act of kindness, and don't forget. You do have some list spaces down here for listing out personal goals, a notes section, and then a spot for work goals and a notes section. I like how this planner and their daily planner, it always breaks out like personal versus work. And at the top of every month, you have a little self-care challenge. So on this first one, it says pick a section of your space to organize each week this month. Studies show that living in a clutter-free space can help you be more calm and productive. At the end of the calendar, you have a monthly review page. You can list your top personal accomplishment, your top work accomplishment. My days were most productive when, my days were least productive when, My mood was at my best when. My mood was at my worst when. Next month, I will focus on, and then you're going to circle one of these things: friends, family, romance, mood, health, career, diet, recreation, philanthropy, finance, fitness, spirituality. What was the most challenging part of last month? What can I do differently next month? And then score your current satisfaction in the areas below: self-care, mood, diet, fitness, stress, productivity, life balance. And you have a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being needs work ASAP, and somewhere in the middle it's going all right. And then towards the 10 scale, it's don't change a thing. Then it goes back to the monthly intentions. So you've got the 12 calendars up front. That felt like a lot more than 12. Okay. Then you go into the start of the weekly stuff. So first you have this dot grid right here, which this dot grid spacing is definitely smaller than this line spacing here. And I don't have a ruler with me, but I'm guessing this looks like a 5mm grid spacing. So here you have a dashboard or overall weekly overview type situation happening, where this is where you can list out like a to-do list for the week in a personal capacity and then like in a work capacity. And you even have a spot to like prioritize the things. So at the beginning of the week, you can like brain dump the list, and then you can go through and decide what's the first thing I need to do first. And you can label that 1, next thing 2, which I appreciate the priority thing in here. Then you have a sleep tracker. So on Monday, you can just jot down how many hours of sleep you got, and then you can see a graph by the end of the week. Same thing with your mood. On a scale of like 1 to 5, you can decide. I'm assuming like you would do 1 is kind of a meh or like a not very good mood. 3 probably is just like an okay, and then 5 being really great mood. And then you have a habit tracker, so you can list out whatever habits you want to track for the week. And you've got space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. And you can list out what your reward would be after completing all your habits. Then you have a spot for breaking down your meals. So if you want to do a meal plan, and if you want to do like an exercise plan for the week ahead, you can jot that listed here. And it's kind of grayed out. So I assume it's meant to be the first line for breakfast, the gray line is lunch, and the bottom line would be for dinner. But you can do this how you want. If you wanted to, you could break it down into more column spaces and maybe do breakfast, lunch, dinner. I don't know, it's totally up to you. Then you've got like a notes section here. And then you jump into your weekly view. Now, since this planner is undated, of course, you've got to date it. So, but it does have like a week 1, and you can circle the month that it is. So you obviously don't have to start this at the beginning of the year, but just note, like, I think this week is meant to, the week numbers here at the corner are meant to help you kind of know how many weeks you have left in the planner, because if you get close to the end, you want to go ahead and reorder, because there's only going to be 52 weeks spread in here. And this paper is 70 pound paper, and I found that it worked well enough and I didn't have any issues with it. And I'm actually kind of surprised at how thin this entire planner is for it being a 12-month planner. So if somebody is looking for a 12-month planner that, you know, isn't too chunky, this is definitely great. It does not have tabs, and of course that's because it's undated. So you would, if that's something you're interested in doing, you'd have to purchase some kind of tabs from another shop and add them to the months. But you can easily just get some kind of a bookmark that snaps into the coil, or you can get a magnetic bookmark to kind of keep your spot. But there are definitely options. So each day, it's kind of like a horizontal layout the way this is. So you have a little grayed out spot for gratitude, and then you have a spot for like your top goal for the day, and then you've got a bunch of to-do list space, and then you have a spot for your self-care every day. And it's not broken down into like work, personal. It basically is open-ended. So all of this could be work related, all of this could be personal, or if you wanted to in your head, you could like separate it where it's like this side I'm listing out my personal things and this side I'm going to list out my work things, or vice versa, just depending on how you want to do that. But you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 check boxes each day, which I feel like should be plenty enough. Thinking about my own schedule on like when I do list out what I want to do for the day, I don't usually have that many to-do items. And I find if I put way more than that, then it's just overwhelming. And then it jumps in again to the same thing as before. So you have another like overview type situation. So it's basically you're getting like 2 weekly views at the same time. If you wanted to, you don't have to use this for meals. You could white this out and use this space here for something completely different. Like especially because these are mostly check boxes or check circles. Rather, you could use this space for an actual schedule. Like if you have kids, you could decide to dedicate, if you don't want to track meals or like plan out an exercise plan, you could list like, this is child 1, this is child 2, this is what their schedule is. Or you can like, this is your schedule, this is your kid's schedule, and like list out whatever your appointments and your meeting times and all that stuff are there. And then leave this space here, the check boxes, for actual tasks. And then you basically have like almost like 2 planners in one, essentially. But the main point of one of these planners from Simple Self is that the self-care aspects are built into it. And you have like the habit trackers built in, and you've got the daily reminders to practice gratitude and to do self-care. And then on the monthly views, on the monthly pages, you've got more, reminders about taking care of yourself with all of these, and the self-care challenges that are listed in here. So let me flip to the back because there is some more to this after you've got all of the weeks. Almost there. Oh, okay. It's because it's like, okay, I forget that there's 2 weeks of each thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, here's week 52. And then you've got the end assessment. So this is very similar. I think it's the exact same questions as the very front assessment, but now you're assessing yourself at the end of the year. Exact same questions. You're going to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 4. And then you've got a page to reflect, a section that says what self-care habits or routines did you create and stick to? What are the areas of your life that need improvement? What is blocking you from making change? Has there been a positive change in the overall balance in your life? If so, what was the impact? And then list 3 key takeaways that you can apply in the future. Then you have this like health tracker symptom thing. And this is also in the daily planner version as well. And I'll show you that in a minute, what the daily page looks like. So this health tracker is great for like tracking your symptoms throughout the year. Hopefully you don't need more space than this, but I don't know. You have enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So like at least like 40, maybe 45 lines between the 2 pages to list out like a date, whatever the symptom is, and then the factor so that you can track things here if you need it. And then at the end you have a dot grid page. You have 1, 2, and then it's just blank with the company information. Now let me show you what their daily page looks like, because if you need a daily and you don't want like a weekly, this daily is a great option. So let me see, I'm going to flip to find the beginning of a week. Here we go. So much like the other one, all the months are in the front and the weeks are going to be all together. So you basically have the exact same page over here. The only thing you're missing in the daily is that you don't have that page over here that has the meals and the exercise breakdown. But you do have this exact same page over here, and then you jump into 7 days of pages. And then I'm pretty sure you have like an extra notes page in here. So maybe, I don't know. Hold on, let me see. The day pages are broken down. I don't know if you can see that good, because there we go. The day pages have a spot for the day. You can circle the day and then like what the weather is like, spot for gratitude, top goal, a schedule section, a to-do list section, self-care box, water tracker, meals, and exercise. So instead of the meals and exercise being on like one page, it's actually on the daily page. And so if you're somebody that needs like a schedule section and a to-do list section, then this is basically a better option. You basically have everything that the weekly had, but the additional like extra space for you to write your full schedule and have everything on the page. And the daily option is only 6 months. See how there's a extra page here? I don't know why in that one spot there wasn't one. Yeah, every week, unless I ripped it out. I don't know. I wouldn't have. Okay, these are all numbered. I had ripped out what I wrote in the very beginning. But that was interesting how that one spot just kind of like went straight to, and it didn't have a dot grid. But yeah, you have like, so you have a dot grid at the end of the week. After like 7 days, then you have like a dot grid, and then you have the week. So either of these options are great, whether you want the weekly or the daily, and the quality is exactly the same. It has this like linen cover. There are multiple color options. Every year they basically change. They'll bring in like some new colors, and they do have some like notepads and things like that also, in addition to the planners. So if you thought that this planner was something that you would be interested in getting, let me know in the comments what you liked the most about it, what would make you want to get it. And if you didn't already see the review I did of the Inner Work Journal, I think these two products together would be a perfect pair for helping you prioritize your self-care in 2024. I hope that you found this review helpful. And if you are not subscribed and you want to see more planning content like this, where I talk about planners and self-care and journals, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.